okay? A key is good, a key is good. Touch him up.
Both fighters saw action on that fight card. The return of boxing on June 9th. Robeisy Ramirez with a win over Yehudi Andujar, and Felix Caraballo a loss against Shakur Stevenson, although we must say that was at 130 pounds, and now he comes back to his original weight. And Robeisy mentioned, look, of course I want to stop him before Shakur Stevenson did in that 6th round, because there's going to always be that comparison between Robeisy Ramirez, who won gold in the Olympics, by beating Shakur Stevenson, who took silver.
Of course it is, but you know, that's the ego in Ramirez. He just needs to come in here and get this victory. He don't need to worry about what the next man is doing. He needs to worry about what he's doing.
With blue trunks trimmed in white, and goes directly to what Shakur Stevenson did and worked for him against Caraballo, the body shots.
Oh yeah, he told us in the fighter meeting that's what he's going to be looking for.
Referee Robert Hoyle with the first warning to both fighters for something that you're going to see all night long with this southpaw against the orthodox. That battle to establish the outside position of the feet.
A lot of guys say, oh, move to your left. Yes, you have to move to your left. Of course, especially when you get in there to deliver your shots, because you're safer when you're outside that foot. But you can also move to your right as well and battle the backhand of the southpaw.
Nice double jab and then a left hand from Robeisy Ramirez. Ismael Salas, the famed Cuban trainer, said, we're working on the lead hand of Robeisy in this fight, something you mentioned, but here's the footwork.
There it is. That's the T position right there that I'm talking about. You see where Caraballo is, and you see how Ramirez is squared up on the ropes. If you get a southpaw in the T position, you have both hands. You can work both of your hands. There it is again. This is where Caraballo needs to live, right here. Against the ropes, get him in a T position and let both his hands go. See that little drop right there from Ramirez? He does that often. You know, studying him in the film, that's his tee off right there. That's what he's showing you. He wants to throw the looping left hand. Every time you see that, you need to change your level. There it is again.
So poker players, that's his tell.
That's his tail right there. Beautiful uppercut right there from Ramirez. Catching Caraballo as he's trying to come in with his head. Leaning forward.
It's the evolution of a fighter who at 26 years old had an extensive amateur career. 400+ bouts, winning about 85% of his fights, did Robeisy Ramirez. And Felix Caraballo is a fighter who only had about 75 amateur fights. And here, Ramirez is pressing the action and pushing Caraballo backwards.
Listen, you can't be sitting there complaining. I know he hit you low, but you can't be sitting there complaining to the referee, especially when the guy is close enough to hit you with offense. And that's what Caraballo did. He complained to the referee, looked to the referee, and then what did Ramirez do? Teed off.
See another body shot from Ramirez as Caraballo tries to answer with the right to the solar plexus. They're my inspiration. Out there in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. Those quick hands from Robeisy Ramirez. Maybe not doing too much damage in that case, but setting something up. Speaking of Ramirez, Jose Ramirez, the unified 140-pound champion, just announced on Instagram that they're expecting a baby girl to join their son Mateo. So had a little gender reveal.
Congratulations.
So congrats to the champ Jose Ramirez.
No push, no push.
And Marisol. Nice right hand there from Robeisy Ramirez.
No push.
He's moving to his left quite often. You know, he never goes around to the right. He's constantly looking to sit on that back foot to be able to land that left hand.
Round two coming to an end here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Let's see if he's able to do that. Fighter out of Southern California. All right, round 3 of a scheduled 8-round fight. Bernardo Osuna alongside Timothy Bradley and Mark Kriegel joining us on this call from inside the bubble in Las Vegas. Felix Caraballo attacking, but Robeisy Ramirez, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, just a lot more efficient with a 40% accuracy clip.
Caraballo's putting a lot of pressure on Ramirez right now, digging down to the body occasionally. You can see Ramirez stand very calm in there, looking for the right spot to be able to land. Every now and then, Caraballo, what he'll do is he'll get his head down inside and he'll lift up just like he did there. And Ramirez meets his head with punches.
And that's the influence of a man who was notorious at La Finca as a great trainer in Ismael Salas, who was able to evolve his style as a trainer as well with all the Cubans that came over to the United States, especially here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Ismael Salas has done a good job with him so far, you know, and he's still in development stages. He's looking a lot better than I've used to see. I like the fact that he's just real comfortable, calm, poised, you know, even though he's getting a massive amount of pressure. I like that he's just keeping his composure and looking for the right shots.
Mark Kriegel, what's going on with Jose Trabon in Felix Caraballo's corner?
Well, I spoke to Jose Trabon. He says, keep going to the body. Ramirez is faster than we are. We got to slow him down. There's one way to do it. Bang him to the body.
You know, when you see a guy, he moves the same way all the time, you need to cut off that angle. You know, force him the opposite way. You know, and you don't see that from Caraballo, you know, so he's lacking a little bit of ring IQ, I would say. Ramirez can constantly move into his left side.
Double right hook there from Robeisy Ramirez. Overhand.
Both guys are keeping their head right down the middle and the inside. As you can see, they're both available for uppercuts. Caraballo, he likes to load up with his punches. Sometimes you just need to let them fly from where they are.
Round 3 will be on ESPN October 17th. And we also invite you to watch Blood, Sweat, and Tears in the build-up to this fight on Sundays at 8:30 Eastern Time on October 4th and October 11th. So a big fight deserves a big build-up. Ramirez taking on Felix Caraballo. Ramirez, the 2-time Olympic gold medalist.
Keep him up, keep him up.
Last man to beat Shakur Stevenson in the ring in Rio 2016. Nice quick combinations from Robeisy Ramirez, and now starting to use his feet and making Caraballo chase after him.
Yeah, Ramirez is just laying back. He's coming forward, he's mauling, but he's not doing anything at all. I mean, he did the same thing against Shakur Stevenson. You would think.
It's also the level of boxer that you have in front of you that makes it hard to get settled in there, although he lands a nice right hand, does Caraballo. And he's got to eat that leather coming from the jab of Robeisy Ramirez.
If Caraballo, if he just lets his hands go, let them go from where they are. Stop trying to load up with just throwing body shots and change up the cadence a little bit, I think he'll have a lot more success.
We always talk about Shakur Stevenson and how his opponents land about 4% of their jabs, and it's stellar. Well, tonight so far, Caraballo has only landed 2 jabs of what he's thrown, or 1 jab out of 66. So that's pretty stellar himself in terms of avoiding that jab.
Well, one, he's not even throwing a jab, really. He's just walking in behind, you know, his head. And the second thing, it's really hard and difficult to land a jab against a southpaw because of the angle. Southpaws, you got to understand, they're used to fighting right-handers. Right-handers are not used to fighting southpaws.
Keep him in front, keep him in front. Watch the head, watch the heads, okay?
Robert Boyle with a warning, and then they go right like Rams, right back to where they were. And to round 4, we're going to follow Robeisy Ramirez.
Said his defense got to be based on his footwork. Well, there's 3 forms of defense. You know, you can block shots, you can slip shots, and you can also use your feet
Come on,
like
guys,
Ismael
pick it
Salas
clean.
is asking for.
Good thing for Ramirez is he's able to do all those aspects of defense. And here comes Caraballo. Second half of this fight. Gonna have to go for it because I don't think he's won any round so far.
He hasn't won any round, and he's trying to let his hands go like there. You just got to let them go. I mean, if you're getting hit to begin with without throwing punches, you need to let your hands go and still get hit. Better your chances, please. But the one thing that Ramirez is doing is he's fighting him. You know, just as Shakur Stevenson did, but Shakur let his hands go a lot more.
And his punches had authority behind him too, because that was his first fight at 130 pounds. He wanted to send a message to all the champions out there, hey, this kid's not playing. I'm leaving my belt at 126 for Navarrete and Ruben Villa to fight for it right here in the bubble later on in October. But great head movement there from Robeisy Ramirez. It's art in motion when these Cuban fighters can put it all together. Ooh, nice counter left from Robeisy.
He could do more. Honestly, he could do more. I mean, he's clearly winning this fight handedly, easy. But he definitely can get more and try to go for the knockout if he wants to.
But it's not something that we haven't seen with a lot of the Cuban fighters, the mentality of it, hey, if I'm outpointing you, why take any risk?
Yeah, but, you know, knockouts, that's what sells.
Yeah.
You know, that's what sells. People want to see knockouts. And if you have a guy that's hurt, I have a guy that's directly in front of you and you can unleash and everything you throw is landing.
Earlier in this round, and he seems to be wanting to sit on his punches, but then starts to move laterally. Oh, nice left. Ooh, digging to the body, and then another left overhand. Big right hand, and now we've got Caraballo wobbled. Big uppercut there from Caraballo, or from Ramirez, and Caraballo says, come, give me some more.
Now that's what I'm talking about right there. You know,
see if he does that here in round number 6 of a scheduled 8-rounder inside the bubble. Bernardo Osuna alongside Timothy Bradley and Mark Kriegel. And you see Caraballo going straight to work, trying to push back Ramirez, who has landed on 57% of his power punches last round.
See, that's the instincts of a fighter. You see Caraballo, he was hurt at the end of that fight, at the end of that round. So one way to get that endurance to where you can throw combinations all night long.
How's that, Tim?
It's called road work. Get on the track, do some sprints, baby.
Or you can do it like Big Ray used to do it with you.
Oh my goodness. My father was lethal, man. Anything to make me cry.
Now when you got a guy leaning in like that, like Caraballo is, how do you take advantage of that?
Uppercut. Uppercut central. His head is right down the middle. A lot of guys, they used to watching Cesar Chavez. He keeps his head down in the middle, but he was smart.
Keep him up, keep him up.
Good shots right there.
And he gets the warning from referee Robert Hoyle for a low blow. Does Caraballo when he finally had a semblance of offense going. That one was low from Caraballo on the hip.
There you are. You know, let me give you another tip. Wherever the head goes, the body goes. So if you put your hand on the head a little bit and kind of push it down, guess what? His head's going to go down. His body's going to go with it. Push that head to the side and the inside.
At a 6'6" dude this big coming down the soccer field.
Oh my goodness.
I'm getting out the way.
I ain't getting out the way.
You are? You not?
Man, please. I'm taking it head on. I'm taking it.
But look at your head.
Lowest man wins.
Okay.
He gonna get a point taken, keeping his head down there in the inside like that, right in the middle. The ref is looking close.
In as well, he probably already would have taken a point.
Man, you meet that head with punches.
Yep.
That's what you do.
Like that.
Just like that.
Whether it's overhead.
Look, Ramirez is a dynamic fighter. You know, there's no question he has a ton of skills. You know, you can see it. But to me, he fights a little lazy to me. You know, I don't know if he's real, you know, goes hard, you know, really in the gym. You know, he really just depends on his talent. Because let me tell you, he can end this fight anytime he wants. You know, you got all the young fighters wanting to, you know, make a whole lot of money. Everybody's talking about they want to make a whole lot of money, get rich. Well, one way, the quickest way is produce some knockouts for the fans at home. They want to see some knockouts, especially when you have a guy sitting directly in front of you. Yes, Caraballo got his hands up high. He's making the things a little difficult, but he's there to be hit.
He's got about 3 minutes and 30 seconds to open up and finish in impressive fashion. No doubt that he should be ahead on the scorecards.
Oh, without a doubt. This was the easy fight. You see him right now changing up the rhythm, just touching Caraballo right now.
You see what he does and it's good, and then you think about what he could do.
Oh my goodness.
And that's what kind of leaves you wanting more.
Yes.
The 8th and final round. This is the first time that Robeisy Ramirez has been to the 8th round as a professional. We'll see if he's able to finish off this fight in impressive fashion, or if you'll be content to just take away what should be a very easy decision in his favor. We see Caraballo coming out trying to be aggressive. I think it's just his last stand.
Yeah, it's his last stand. I mean, he got to do something. He hasn't won a round in my book yet.
And this is the moment where Robeisy Ramirez has a decision to make. Does he want to coast to a victory, or does he want to send a message that he will be a future world champion at 126 pounds? Because if he can't get rid of Caraballo, then he's still got a lot of work to do.
Robeisy is a very, very talented fighter. He is. But to me, now what I see, he's a tad bit lazy. He's a tad bit lazy. He depends on his experience, and he depends on his gift, his talent. But he needs to have that work ethic behind it.
Well, it's that Cuban thought, the Cuban school of the fine boxing, the art of boxing, the art of hitting and not being hit. But sometimes you need that Terrence Crawford mean streak in you to finish a guy when you can, which should be the case against Caraballo. Gets and putting butts in the seats.
Yes.
Last 45 seconds of this fight, it's been all Robeisy Ramirez all the time. Landing over 50% of his power punches so far, and usually that translates into a knockout, but not in this particular case.
It's all about the mindset of the fighter. I expected him to get rid of Caraballo. That's just my expectation.
But then that's the difference between expecting a big payday and just expecting another payday.
Very true. But he's at the beginning stages right now and still developing.
Should be his.
Declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Robeisy Ramirez.
Choo-choo.
Welcome guys, thanks for joining me again in this update. I hope you're all well. So guys, the fight between Robeisy Ramirez, Cuban professional boxer, and Felix Caraballo, a Puerto Rican fighter, occurred on July 25th, 2020 in a featherweight bout. This fight took place at the Bubble, the MGM Grand Conference Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, and was part of a top-ranked boxing event. So guys, a unanimous victory there for Ramirez. He showed the skills, the angles, and great variety in his power punching. But guys, I have to agree, reluctantly, I have to agree with Tim Bradley. Now, I don't often agree with Bradley when he provides his commentary, but on this, I have to say he's right. So I think Ramirez is going to be the better boxer in most of his fights. He's a two-time Olympic gold medalist, so this comes as no surprise. But his effort, he doesn't really push the bar. And when he has the opportunity to knock his opponent out, he doesn't really go for it. However, when we look at Ramirez's more recent defeat against Espinoza, the only thing that seems to require improving with him is his fitness. Espinoza didn't beat Ramirez with skills, but he beat him with work rate. So you could see that Ramirez was totally fatigued. It wasn't really a single punch that knocked Ramirez down. It was more the fatigue of taking so many punches. He just couldn't stand up anymore. So fitness was the issue. Hopefully, if there is a rematch between the two, Ramirez incorporates his swimming, as Bradley says, and sprints to match his opponent with fitness, and then have the ability to showcase and separate himself with his technical skills in the right situations. Like always, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Anyway guys, that's all for now. I really hope you've enjoyed watching the video. Please remember to smash the like button if you have enjoyed watching this particular update. Remember to leave a comment in the comment section if you want to add anything about Robeisy El Tren Ramirez. So until my next one, peace out.